Okay, so my opponent goes e4. I'm gonna be defending the French defense once again, and we do see a second move bishop to c4, which is really odd by a, almost 1600 guy. I'm gonna go knight f6, and I think we're just gonna try to play normal. I could try to play aggressive, like castling long, but I'm just gonna try to keep it as simple as I can. I'm gonna get myself castled, and now he may have ideas to take this pawn on d5 because he created the spin. And just so we can make sure that we kill his bishop, I can play c6, but something that might be even more annoying for my opponent is throwing in this check first, so he has to play this really courageous king d2 move, going for the so-called bone cloud. And I'm just gonna go h6. I really want to see what he wants to do with the bishop, because if he takes the knight and then takes the pawn, I'm afraid he may run into a pretty early checkmate, which is bishop to f4. And we just got a 10-mover checkmate in the French, which is pretty nice. So we are gonna be getting another French defense. And this time we do get the Panov, or the, how do you call this? Like when they play e4, c4, and we do get in the isolated queen spawn positions. And here you shouldn't be taking with a queen, because then they can develop with tempo, but you should play knight f6 first. And it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be taking on d5, and he does go for queen e2 check, which I'm not really sure that's a thing. I think we can just block, and queen b5 we can just play c6. Other than that, I don't really see a big point behind this move at all. Just gonna play knight c6, defending this guy, and then we can castle. He plays d3. I could also start with bishop g4 with the idea to castle long, but generally speaking, castling short should be very safe in the French. So not gonna complicate. Could have played bishop g4 as well. That was definitely doable, but yeah, I think I just like it this way. We bring this rook to e8, the other rook comes into d8, and we should be okay. I could give this check on b4, but I'm afraid he may parry it with knight d2, and I could play rook e8 and knight d4 in that position. I have a lot of really tempting lines. I'm gonna go bishop g4 with the idea to go this check next, and I think he's in a lot of trouble. Like honestly, I don't even need to go for this check. Could also like just trade on f3 twice, play it positional with bishop f6. I'm just gonna go for the check, you know me. Who am I trying to fool? So if he plays king f1, he lost the right to castle, and I might just draw my bishop back to f5, even though I could also like double take on f3. Could definitely go for that. Could play bishop f5. I think we're just gonna switch the action to this pawn on d3 now, and the idea is to play rook d8 next, and he's gonna be having a lot of troubles defending it. He plays queen c2, just gonna bring the rook as I was saying, and threatening to take on d3. Ooh, that is actually a big mistake, as he forgot about the fact that the pawn will be pinned, so we just get to collect the free queen. And he's gonna be like, oh no, my queen. And we can take on d3 next. And he does resign, in fact. Okay. Caro is bad. I think Caro is actually good, but I started already playing the French in this speedrun. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna like stick with it until we achieve like the final goal for this thing. And actually that is something that I also said on YouTube, that it's also like applies here. If you guys are liking this kind of content, we can make a speed run with like the Karo Khan or with King's Indian or whatever opening you may like. So why is course ambush e4 when we are the one playing e4? That is a good question, and I think someone also asked this on Chessable, because to some people might look confusing because it's a course for white and it kind of makes you think that it's for black fighting against e4. Honestly, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not really in charge for like the marketing part. I'm just the guy with the openings, so Yeah, I mean, it's honestly just like a lifetime repertoire for one e4. It's just that it's marketed as ambush one e4. Caro is just London with color reversed. Well, it doesn't really have anything in common at all, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, I get it. You get the bishop to f5, but you shouldn't kind of misthink that it's any similar to the London. But I mean, I have a few videos on the Caro. I will probably play it more often, like the Caro is one of my main weapons as well, so I think I have pretty okay handling of it, so yeah. Anyways, let's go into the next game and I'll catch up with the chat after this game. Hopefully we can actually win a game with a... Let's see if he's still gonna go for the exchange French, and man, he might, because he started with knight f3. There's actually a funny line if they go e5 and c5. White has an interesting gambit with b4, cb and a3. I actually used to play like that occasionally, but yeah, looks like we're just gonna be getting into this kind of dull territory where I'm gonna try and do my best to get some unbalanced positions. He does play knight c3, which somewhat concerns me. I'm gonna go bishop e6 with the idea that I'm still trying to get the bishop in there. Go knight e7, queen d7, and castle long. I'm gonna be, yeah, reinforcing the c6 knight. I can play queen d7, but that may allow knight e5. So I could start with f6 in that regard, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna be playing queen d7 and long castle. Yeah, just gonna go queen d7, making sure that this bishop is actually well defended. Gonna be castling. I'm not afraid of b4. And I could go g5. I think that's what I'm about to do. And after bishop to d3, I might just go knight f5. Although he can take and go knight d5. I can take on h2. He takes with a knight. I can take back. That looks like okay for me, but could also play like knight g6, b5, and then knight ce7, which might seem even like easier to play. So no need to calculate any like crazy variations. Just gonna maneuver this knight around and just gonna play king b8. I'm gonna show you that his attack is not really all that terrifying, or I might get mated in the process. So could happen, but yeah, we'll see. I could go bishop b4 with the idea that on bishop d2 I can go g4 and his knight is literally running out of squares. And I think that's actually what I'm gonna do, because I don't think he's gonna notice. And we go g4 and this knight literally has no squares, because this knight on g6 is covering h4. So he can take on g6, I can take on f3, or I can simply take back with what looks like a winning position to me. I think only move for him might be like queen e2 now. But we might be able to just play bishop f5 anyways and win. Okay, he takes. I'm not sure what this achieves. I just need to kind of look on the board and not blunder anything before I make my next move. I think I can do anything, but I'll just take back with a knight, defending this guy as well. If he takes on b4, I'm actually gonna take on f3 first. So now after he moves this bishop, which is under attack, I can actually damage his king pawn by taking on g2. He does take with a queen, but now we're gonna be up 2 pieces and he shouldn't really have any counterplay whatsoever. I'm gonna be taking on d3 as well. He can take rook e6, but then I'm gonna be playing rook f8, and his rook looks to be dropping as well. I don't see a move for his queen to still defend this guy on e6, and yeah, looks reasonable. I don't know what else to add to this. I really don't see any kind of potential tricks for him, to be fair. Okay, he's like burning a lot of time. He does just stay back, sacrificing the queen, but the funny thing is now we're actually having a double attack against his rooks. So it's pretty funny that in this position there's no way that the rooks are defending each other. So I'm literally up a queen and a knight, and he does finally resign. So here's something really instructive that I wanted to show you after I play this king b8 move, is that if he goes a5, okay, I went for a concrete move like bishop b4, but Let's say I'm playing something slower for like the purpose of showing this. Let's say I'm going h5 and they go b6 trying to mate us. What you should avoid is something like taking twice, because then he plays knight b5, and already, let's say if you go bishop b4, he already has ideas like going rook a8 check, and if you take, he can play queen a1. Let's assume bishop a5 is not a legal move. You play king b8, he goes queen a7, and then he mates you. So this will be like a quick way for this to backfire, and that's why I believe one of the best reactions is just to take on b6 once and then going a6. And now it's not really gonna be that simple for him to open up the queen side, and then you can try to focus against this king with ideas such as g4, g3, or g4, h4, and then g3. And he really has to like sack on a6 to open things up, but even when they do, it will not necessarily give them enough play to mate you. So yes, you're running a little bit of risks while playing this line, but I think it could be really rewarding if you're facing this like exchange variation or on a regular basis. And we do face one d4, and we're gonna be trying to play the Queen's Gambit declined, and we do face e4. Little does he know, we can transpose back into the French, and there's no need to deal with any shenanigans. Gonna go c5. We got ourselves a nice and sweet advanced variation of the French, and here I'm gonna be unleashing my secret weapon. I'm gonna be playing bishop to d7. I'm gonna be playing queen b6, and we're gonna be getting rid of this bad French bishop by taking. What is this move? I mean, look at this guy. If I take and I go bishop b5, there will be queen c8. What a cheeky guy. Problem for him is that the queen is terribly placed here, and I can just switch back to the normal lines with rook c8, and I'm just much better now because I'm threatening to take on d4 twice. So his idea was kind of funny, but yeah, what to do? We have to go back to these lines, and yeah, now black is just doing very well. I think a true French player is loving this position, and I think we have even a better move now, which is knight a5. He takes on c5. I take with a bishop. He can play b4. I can play knight b3 though. He takes on c5. I can take back with a queen. These two guys will be hanging. He can try to defend. Queen b2. I can take. He takes with a queen. How is that position? Pretty complicated. I don't think we should go that far, and maybe perhaps we should just stick with the positional c4 and then just get this knight into b3, because I think actually his pawn on a4 will turn out to be a major weakness, because usually the pawn is on a3 in this French, and yeah, now on a4 it's just gonna be a huge weakness. So I'm gonna be playing knight b3. I think I could start with knight e7 as well. Yeah, I think I'm starting knight e7. I'm playing knight c6 next and then knight b3. Or maybe it doesn't really make that whole of a difference. Yeah, it's probably not a big difference at all. Okay, I'm gonna be playing this move, playing knight b3 next, and I might be doing something a little bit surprising. I'm gonna be taking with a pawn on b3, but now that he played queen c2, knight on b3 now comes even in a better version. I'm gonna get this knight into a5, and now the plan would be to play bishop c6 and then bring the queen back behind the bishop so we can target this weak pawn. So you see that the French is kind of really strategical, and it's more about like plans than concrete calculation, which personally speaking I quite enjoy, as I'm terrible at calculation. But yeah, I mean, it also kind of allows you to yeah, make it more of an understanding game rather than just brute calculation. So I'm gonna be taking with a pawn, hitting his rook. Rook a1 is only move, and then we can collect the pawn. I see nothing wrong with that, and that's what we're gonna do. Then we can improve our knight by going knight c4. Then we can play b5. My bishop looks kind of funny, but it's definitely a strong bishop, and it's keeping my position kind of together, and it will activate in the future. You should trust me. So I think I might just play b6, in fact, with the idea that I'm defending the knight while I'm also keeping ideas of bringing this bishop back into the game. So let's see. He plays queen 3, but this is running exactly into my idea now, which is pretty funny. Okay, let's see. He does play queen h3. We will be collecting the exchange. And I can play knight c4, which I think is a good move. Maybe he takes on b3 with the bishop, but then we can take on d2 and play queen b5, check. So I think that's a nice line. I think he's gonna do this. Okay, he doesn't. And I'm a little bit unsure how to take. I'm gonna take this way. He can activate his bishop though, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is not really attacking anything, so I shouldn't really be worried. I think we should get ourselves castled, like, eventually. Oh my gosh, I'm having no time. I just need to speed up right now. Okay, I'm not gonna be explaining the next moves. I'm just gonna be pre-moving like a psychopath. Okay. Mating ideas, b5, b4. Ooh, this pawn hangs. This is bad news. Gonna go b4 anyways. Gonna take. Gonna go b2, rook b8. He can take. Ooh, what is he doing? I don't know. I don't care. Can you guys hear the police sound? They're coming after this guy who's trying to dirty flag us. They're coming after this guy who's trying to dirty flag us. But he does not manage to, and we do get the win. I believe that was actually a pretty nice kind of strategical game that we've got. Okay, opponent opens up with d4. I'm gonna be playing the French defense. And I still don't understand why these people play second move bishop to c4 against the French. Maybe there's some new opening trend that I've been missing. So I'm just gonna continue developing and gonna castle. Okay, he plays knight e2, and the instinct is to like play rook e8. I think I'm gonna do a developing move first though. Gonna play knight d7 idea to get knight e5. He could have played d4 to stop me, but he didn't. I can get to activate my knight. I'm gonna be playing rook e8. Look, this is the typical problem with like an early developed queen. Like we can just get to attack it forever basically. He has queen d4 like only move, but I'm wondering whether bishop c5 wins or not. I think we can just play c6, defend this one, and then bishop c5 will be deadly. He'll have queen a4, but then we'll trap the queen with b5. So I think that actually ends up to be a pretty thematic game of why you should not develop your queen early on in the game. So on queen a4 we can take the knight on g3 because it's free, but I think it's even more instructive to play b5 and just straight up trap his queen. And look how many pieces we managed to develop in the process. So we just yeah, finished our development while also attacking his queen, and eventually we trapped it. So that is pretty much how you should be winning this ratings. If you're playing below 1600, just try to develop your pieces and see. I mean, another blunder, we take on g3, and yeah, we can take everything. Just gonna take on e3 and then the rook, and he does resign. So yeah, I think that was pretty straightforward. We're facing e4 once again, and it's time to defend our French. He plays second move knight c3 and does take on d5. So another guy rated 1700 going for the exchange French. I'm a little bit concerned about the knight being on c3, so for this reason I'll just stick back to normal play. I could have tried like the knight c6 madness, going for long castle, but hey, with this knight is not working that well. So I'm just gonna develop the bishop. Gonna be castling short next, and I'm gonna be playing rook e8. Ooh, not gonna play rook e8 with the bishop on b5 though. Gonna be playing c6, but I really don't get what the bishop is doing like on a4. How do you like even come up with this kind of concept? Like the bishop is gonna be restricted by either pawn from both a4 and b3. Like why would you put it there when the bishop should naturally just come into like d3 or e2, so it's watching the king side? This is like really strange and hard for me to understand. I'm gonna play knight g4 now, hitting this bishop that is pretty weak. Could have played bishop f4 as well, I like this a little bit better for personal reasons. You could do really both. Would go here. My idea is to go bishop f5 next. I'm expecting him to castle long, and then on bishop f5 queen d2. I don't see a great way to follow up. Like, we can really try to punish him and go bishop f4. Question is whether we should or not. I think we'll do. Go bishop f4, taking advantage of the pin. He might be playing knight d1 perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, he's going for it, but we might have a little bit of an idea here with queen a5, don't we? So queen a5, king f1, and then we take on e3 first, and that wins. Okay, that's good. He goes knight c3 defending, but there's another issue with this, because we take here, and then we double take, and he actually ends up saving the bishop, but dropping the queen at the end of the line. So, yikes, he does castle. I don't know. We can do anything. Can take on f2 twice. Could drop my bishop back. I think honestly that's like cleanest. Just being up a free piece. Gonna develop with like bishop e6 next. He's gonna play rook e1, I'm assuming. Or bishop e3, why not? Bishop a2. The bishop is coming into the game finally. Gonna bring my queen back, and now we managed to consolidate, and I am up a free piece. I am definitely very satisfied here. How do we make progress? I think I'm just gonna be playing knight f8, and I'm gonna be moving the bishop one step back, and we'll just start trading everything on the e file. So yeah, as many trades as we can do until we get one endgame where we are up a beast and we have an easy win. That is gonna be my game plan. As I was saying, don't try to overcomplicate things for no reason. Just gonna go for the trades. Yeah, I'm gonna move my bishop now that it was kind of attacked. Gonna play queen e4, encouraging even more trades. He does go for it, which is similar to resignation. Gonna take on c2. I'm gonna play h5, controlling this square and threatening to trap his knight, and now his knight is actually running out of squares, which is pretty funny. Let's see if he will try to fight for the rest of the game. The knight literally has no squares. This is covered, this is covered, those are covered, and pawn is defended. So he takes, he's trying to fight on, but I just have a very, very easy win. Bishop is never really getting into the game, which is really the sad part. Gonna be using my king to collect the h-pawns. Yeah, time to just bring this knight back into the game. I'm actually just gonna attack his bishop because his bishop is trapped, funnily enough. He plays this move, which is killing the fun a bit. Gonna go b6 and just c5, c4, trapping this guy. Gonna take, and he does resign. He does go e4, and we'll try out a French defense. And my excitement is over once he took on d5. We're gonna be taking with a pawn, and he does play knight c3, which will make it harder for us to go for the long castling plan, but he plays with g3. That is actually pretty terrible, but I think I'm gonna adapt to it, and I'm gonna try to go for some kind of aggression there. I don't know. Do not try this at home. I'm gonna go bishop e7. Wow, so he played g3 and then bishop there. I was not really expecting this. Okay, back to normal play. We'll get ourselves developed. Gonna pin this. Well, I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, I mean, just two different streamers, you know. Just gonna go knight e4. We are taking advantage of this outpost on e4. He takes, I do take with a pawn. Knight's been under attack. He plays knight e5, and well, he can definitely take, trade on e5. After bishop takes, I might have an f6 move and then winning this d4 pawn. Although he can throw in queen check. I think we're gonna go for that just because I want to show you a line. I'm gonna take. I hope he doesn't take with a pawn. Yeah, he takes this way and go f6, and if he goes there, I think we have a nice endgame after queen d5. So that was pretty much the gameplay that I was looking for. But now that I'm thinking about it, if I take, he might just be playing rook d1 and getting a lot of play for no reason. So I might end up playing f5, defending this guy. If he goes check, I'm gonna be playing queen d5. Just gonna be sort of activating the bishop, even though it looks silly attacking this pawn. It's gonna be okay, you'll see. Gonna go there. Gonna play like rook d8. Oh, he plays bishop e5. Gonna do this move, just bringing the rook in. If it takes, I'm gonna be taking with a rook. Does go f3. Sort of asking for trouble. I'll have to take. Takes with a queen. This is actually the strangest game that I've ever played, but I'm gonna go g6, I guess, just defending the f5 pawn. Gonna take with a rook. Gonna fight for the e file. Could have used the other one, but I was thinking if I take, yeah, then I'll have ideas like this. I think now that we won the file, that black should be better, honestly. Could also take this way using rook e4 ideas. Taking with a queen was okay too. Just gonna play this move. He goes queen d2, gonna be playing this, and I think I'll have a nice trick, because if he takes twice, I can play rook e2. Goes rook e1. How is the endgame? I think we'll try the king and pawn endgame. I would have played the queen's endgame, but we'll try out this one. I think it's gonna be interesting, because I'm also like running out of time. Okay, g5, king d5. Maybe we can like fix his pawns. That would be like really nice. Maybe I've kind of rushed with this move. Yeah, have to take. Yeah, it's probably just a draw. Yikes. Can make this move. Are you sure you're allowing that? It's probably still a draw. I mean, at least I have no danger right now. I don't really have a square to enter the game. Oh, he's really trying to lose. Now I think I might be winning. My opponent's doing his best to lose this game. Yeah, I'm just winning now. Luckily. Just going to king and pawn endgames. Your opponents are terrible. This would be like the conclusion for this game. Whatever you do, go for the king and pawn endgames. Okay. Okay, we got a mate in time. And yeah, I don't know really what to say about this game, but we somehow won it. It was like really strange though.